Today we are doing Chapter 6, Lesson 8 on two-step inequalities. Our learning goal is that students will be able to solve two-step inequalities and graph them correctly. Okay, so be sure to write down absolutely everything that is typed or written in these videos and pause this video at any time that you need to slow things down. Remember, start on the side with the variable, but start with the number without the variable. Okay, to undo an equation, you have to do the opposite. And if you're dividing or multiplying by negatives, then you also have to flip the sign. Okay, graph the inequality. An open dot is for greater than or less than, and a closed dot is for greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. For this lesson, there are a lot of rules, but if you can get the rules down, this lesson becomes very easy. So a lot of practice and repetition and understanding the rules and learning them. Okay, so make sure to write all of these rules down, and you may even want to put them on some flashcards and work with them because these rules are very important. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to draw my line straight down from the inequality sign just like we do when we're solving a two-step equation. All right, so we've got to find the side, work on the side with the variable. So I'm going to circle the side with the variable, but I'm going to underline the number without the variable because that's the number we're working with first. So it says that we need to add 4, so to solve it, we have to do the opposite. So we are going to subtract 4 from both sides. Positive 4 minus 4 cancels, and we're left with 3x on the left, and a greater than or equal to sign, and 16 minus 4 leaves us with 12 on the right. So now to solve this, we have to see what our variable is doing, and right now our variable x is being multiplied by 3, and to solve this we have to do the opposite, which is dividing both sides by 3. That cancels, and we are left with x is greater than or equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So we did not divide or multiply by a negative, so we don't have to flip any signs. So to graph this on the number line, you are going to put a line on there, put the 4 underneath it. You can go ahead and add a couple of numbers on either side. So this would be 5 and 6 on the right and 3 and 2 on the left. You are going to circle the number that on the number line, okay, that x is greater than or equal to. And then because it is greater than or equal to, you are going to close that dot in, okay? And we can see that our arrow is pointing to the right, so that is the way we are shading our inequality graph. We are shading it to the right. It's very sloppy, sorry. Okay, let's go on to our next problem. All right, so again, I'm going to draw my line down from my inequality sign. We are going to start on the side with the variable, but we are going to start with the number without the variable. And this is a positive 5, so we are going to do the opposite and subtract 5 from both sides. 5 minus 5 cancels, and we are left with 4x is less than 33 minus 5 gives us 28. And to solve this, we need to divide both sides by 4. You want to do the opposite of what's happening, and right now x is being multiplied by 4. So to solve, you have to divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So x is less than 28 divided by 4, which is 7. Okay, so to graph this on our number line, you are going to put a line and put your 7 down. Again, you can add a couple numbers on either side. So this would be 8 and 9 and 6 and 5. You're going to circle, and we are going to actually leave it open because it is just less than. It is not or equal to, so it is not including the 7. And it is actually pointing to the left, so we are going to shade to the left. Sometimes if it's difficult for you to see the arrow, sometimes I draw the arrow. I just draw a line straight back from that, and that shows me that the arrow is pointing to the left. Okay, so again, draw your line down from your inequality sign. We're starting on the side with the variable, but we're starting with the number without the variable. That's a positive 7. Even though there's a minus sign, it's still a positive 7. So we want to actually cover up this minus sign. That minus is going to go with the 2 and make it a negative. So cover this up. We're going to focus on the positive 7, and the opposite of a positive 7 is minus 7 or negative 7. So we are going to subtract 7 from both sides. We're left with negative 2x is greater than 11 minus 7, which is 4. Okay, and right now x is being multiplied by negative 2, so to solve this, we need to divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1, and 1 times x is x. We divided by a negative, so you have to flip this sign. The sign is going to go in the opposite direction now. And 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So, to draw this on your number line, negative 2 is going to go on the number line, 2 on the right, and 2 on the left. I'm sorry, those are really close together. Okay, so over here we have negative 3 and negative 4, negative 1, and 0. We are going to circle negative 2, and we're going to leave it open because it is not or equal to. Okay, it does not include the 2, and the arrow is pointing to the left, so we are going to shade to the left. Okay, and here is our last one. Draw your line down from your inequality sign. We are going to start on the side with the variable, but we are going to start with the number without it. So right now it's a negative 5 or minus 5, and we have to do the opposite and add 5 to both sides. This cancels. Negative 5 plus 5 cancels, and we are left with x divided by 2 is less than negative 8 plus 5. Remember when we got a negative 8 and we're adding 5 to it, we're actually going up from on the number line. So we've got negative 8 plus 5 actually gives us a negative 3. If that's hard for you to see, do 8 negative signs and then 5 positive signs. And then we have 0 pairs here, so we can cancel all those. So we are left with 3 negatives, negative 3. So to solve this, we want to multiply both sides by 2, because right now x is being divided by 2, so the opposite is multiplying by 2. That cancels, and we are left with x is less than negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. So we are going to draw negative 6 on the number line. We are going to circle it and leave it open because it is not including 6. And then you can draw your extra numbers. And shade to the left, because that is the direction that our arrow is pointing. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow.